I have no idea why that thing does that. I'll wait for people to figure it out. Woo. Hi, Christina. So, as people began realizing that the other stream failed, and then here that we're here now, I'm still getting used to using my channel again. Hello again. Hi. Can you tell it's been a day? Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell? You want to hear a funny story? It's not funny, but it'll make you laugh. So I got this new foundation, right? And I'd reach for it, but it's all the way over there. And it is the Apple Balm KVD, Kat Von D's like sold off brand. So I was all excited about it, and it does cover really well. Unfortunately, they didn't have my correct shade. So this is a little bit paler than it should be. Anyway, for some reason it burnt the holy heaven out of my eyeballs. So if I look like I've been crying for an hour, I was. Because it somehow, like, I don't know, it really did a number on my eyeballs. So I was sitting there like holding tissue to my eyes and stuff like that. And then we have a kitten, Mr. Houdini. And Mr. Houdini decided that while mommy was getting ready, he was going to bite my toe really hard, and it hurt, and it's been a day. So if he actually, and he'll walk across the desk and stuff because he has like no common sense whatsoever because he's a kitten. So if he like walks across the desk, I'll like totally show him to you guys. He's really cute. He's a little puffball thing. But he's been driving Fluff crazy for the last couple nights, and today he drove me crazy. So I turned my octopus to angry. Are you guys familiar with these? Like they show like when you're in a good mood and you're happy octopus, and then when you're in a bad mood you get angry octopus. This is supposed to be so that people that you live with and stuff like that or have to deal with know like when not to talk to you. So there's angry octopus because I've had a crazy morning already, and it's only 1 o'clock for me. So if this is a sign of the day to come, I'm not leaving my house. Same rules as always. You know, I don't really greet too much when I'm reading because my readings are all about energy, and my energies need to be focused on what? The reading. So I don't pay attention to the chat a whole lot, but my wonderful mods that are in blue, as you come in, will gladly greet you. So you can say hi to me and everything, and I appreciate all the hellos and love and everything, of course, but I may or may not greet you back, and it is no offense, and I am not picking anybody above anybody else. It is just simply that I don't really greet people in my chats. If that makes me a bad person, oh well, I guess I'm a bad person. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody that shows up, and I appreciate everybody sharing me out and hitting that like button. You guys want to see him? This little Mongol right here. His name is Houdini, and he was born on Halloween. Technically November 1st because he was born after midnight. But he is a little furry ball of cuteness and everything, but he's such a pain in the butt. Like, really, really. Like, I love him to death. He's so little. He's actually, like, how long ago was Halloween? Like, 2 months ago? He's like 7 weeks old. Look how tiny. He's so little. Little man. But this little, he bit my toe. Yeah, he bit me, and we're not really friends at the moment because of that. Yeah, you're being a Mongol, and mommy don't know how to deal with you very, very well at the moment. And where is my book? Fluffy is forever moving my book. I love you guys. I am so unorganized at the moment. It's been a crazy week, and it has been a crazy month, and crazy year, and hopefully I'm a little bit more organized in the year to come. But Fluff, can you tell me where my book is in the chat so I can find it? If you're paying, I know you're on your lunch break and you're probably trying to eat, but it's supposed to be on the desk and it's not on the desk. Fluff, where's my book? Check in the, well, why would it be in a box on the ground when it's supposed to be on my desk? I'm still there. I'm just curious where something really important went when it's not really ever supposed to leave where I put it for that reason. Let's try something else. Even though I'm a creature of habit and I don't like not having the things that I'm supposed to have. Fluff. How y'all doing? I wish I could say that I was doing great, but I'm apparently scattered. Fluff, I can't find my book. It's not in no brown box nowhere. The one for next year is in the brown box over there. But the one that was just here the other day is not here. Me either. And you've been the one in the studio. I've been in the main house. So, anyway. We'll try it with this and see. Hopefully it doesn't mess me up too much. But weekly all signs reading. Okay, so this isn't technically the last weekly reading of the year. That will be next week's. And have I gotten out all the monthly individual sign readings? What's the reason for that? The reason for that is because we've had a lot of unfortunate losses in our community. He's playing with the cord for the light, so you stop that. It's like having a toddler. Okay, so we've had a bunch of losses in just the past couple of weeks, and so December has become an interesting month. It's been hard. Not only is it like holiday stuff, which makes things hard, but you know, it's, or I should say difficult, you know, because you're trying to balance everything. But it also has, we've lost members of our community. I know last week I was asking for prayers for Buddy, and a lot of you know Buddy. Buddy has gone to be with God and fought valiantly to stay with us as long as he could, but his spirit wanted to stay, but his body had just taken a toll. And you know, the virus is a difficult thing for everybody to have. Some have it lighter than others, but you know, some people have adverse complications, and it's been difficult in the last week because it's just a substantial loss to all of us. And I also had a good friend pass away about a week prior to him passing. So I've been double hit, and and then just everything else that's been going on. I know we've had 2 other losses in our community and stuff like that, and it's been a hard couple of weeks. So have I been able to focus my energy to do the readings for the monthly sign, the monthly readings for each individual sign? It's been difficult, so I apologize. I am going to try to get a couple more out today, and then hopefully have everything out within the next couple of days. I know I said that last week, but also stuff happened, that we didn't predict. And yeah, so here we are. We're going to get your weekly forecast underway. So the typical with this is, if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, you can check your moon sign, you can check your ascending or sun sign, and if one of those still aren't hitting the markers, the message is just not for you, that's okay. It's a very general message. It's not going to apply to everybody or every situation. Sometimes it'll be right on the mark for you one week, and absolutely in the opposite end the next. So just take what works, leave the rest. If nothing works, don't worry about it. If you have questions, you can contact me through my social media. I only have the social medias that are listed in my link tree. I actually have my first Instagram clone. Somebody cloned my account and was actually getting money from people for readings, and I was like, when was the last time I messaged anybody for a reading, or asking people if they want a reading? I've never done it, so if anybody ever does message you, please check and make sure that it's actually me, number one. Number two, if that person doesn't know, you can ask that person a question that I'm going to give you the answer to it. And some of you are going to know it and some of you won't. You can simply ask them, how's Fluff? And if it's me, I will tell you he's fluffy. And if you ask them, they're not going to tell you it's fluffy. Okay? They're going to tell you something else, that he's fine or whatever. But I'll tell you he's fluffy. And that'll work until they see this live stream. But there's other ways of telling if it's me or not. But yeah, that person only had like 2 followers, and then we're following 400 people. That's not the way my Instagram looks, and I'm not Tarot and Tea on Instagram. I'm not. I'm Shadow Cabaret on Instagram. So yeah, don't fall for scammers. Okay, I'm not the type of person that would ever message anybody for money. But I did see somebody that I wanted to thank on camera, Miss Jenny Love. She sent Fluff and I this really cute Christmas care package, and Fluff unboxed it because he kind of didn't realize I was saving it to be unboxed on camera. But she sent us some cute Christmas cups, and she sent me these 2 books. How sweet is that, right? That is super duper sweet. So, if you are not subscribed to Jenny Love TV, she was formerly Jenny Love Paranormal TV. She's now Jenny Love TV because she's also going to add other elements into her channel, not just solely the paranormal, but that's predominantly what she does. She's going to be adding in some different explorers, more aspects of her. So please do hit that subscribe button. Go check out her channel. She has amazing videos. And when she goes live every Friday, I believe still. If not, she'll tell you in the comments, or not comments, but the chat. She usually goes live on Fridays. So, and she does on-site location investigations and stuff, and they're really cool, and she gets a lot of really good evidence and stuff like that, and she's just an amazing person. Very bubbly, very sweet, very happy. So if you've never checked her out, you probably should, because you're missing out on some really cool stuff. Nonetheless, today we're going to use, have you guys ever seen these? I love these, the Tarot in Tins. I have a lot of them. Every one that I've ever seen I've bought because I love the size of the tarot cards because they fit in your hand. And I actually have really small hands. I'm really short. I'm only 5'3". Sometimes I'll say I'm 5'4", but I probably am not. I'm probably still closer to that 5'3" mark. And because of that, I got little tininess. I got little munchkin hands. And the bigger tarot cards, like you'll see me like hold them up to me and I'm trying to shuffle them and stuff, and it's hilarious if you see me hold them in person. I do it, but they're a little more awkward to handle, and a lot of people with smaller hands often complain about that. And so if you can find like bridged versions of tarot cards, those usually mean they're smaller, about this size, or pocket versions, or the tin ones. The tin ones are smaller. And this particular deck has so many readings attached to it. I used this deck a lot when I worked at my daughters called it the tarot store, but it's Vision Quest in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was a tarot reader there for a while, and you could catch me there 5 days a week. I was one of their full-time tarot readers, and you would catch me on their live streams that they would do weekly and stuff like that. If you guys remember Robert from Exploring with Fluffy, he did an interview with him. That's where I met Robert. We both worked at Vision Quest, metaphysical bookstore in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, I did live in good old Arizona for 7 years. 7 years, wow. And I never thought I'd be a zonie, and that's what they're called. They're called zonies. I never thought I'd be a zonie because, like, I used to make fun of them for being bad drivers so much because I lived in California. And yeah, so when I moved over there, I was like, oh no, like I had to eat my words because I was officially a zonie myself. But, you know, not born and raised there, so. Alrighty. So I go in the order of the astrological chart, which is Aries through Pisces. What I'm going to do is pull your weekly message to see what messages the universe has in store for you, what advice it needs to give, and hopefully it helps you through a constraint or situation that you're mentally worried on or fixed on. So let's get started. So for Aries, I know we're behind today. It was supposed to be the 20th through the 26th, but stuff happens, life happens. So the 21st to the 26th, but you know, maybe it'll have started on the 20th. You never know. So messages for Aries. Alright, Aries. 9 of Cups. So a fulfilled person. The energy that garners around your reading for today, for this week, the underlying energy is 10 of Cups, which is energy of fulfillment. It's not total, complete, utter, completion, because it's not a 10 of Cups, but it's emotional fulfillment. Like, you're good. You're not somebody who is wanting. Like, you are a fulfilled person. Cups are emotions, so it's things that you feel. It's going to be more things that you emotionally are experiencing. Okay? 6 of Swords to the 3 of Wands in reverse to the 4 of Pentacles. So Aries, what I'm seeing here is you're walking away from something. Either you're walking away from something, you've made a decision to walk away from something, or something is being pulled away from you. A decision has been made for forward movement, either from you or away from you. So got 3 of Wands in reverse. So in its upright, 3 of Wands, that's that motion forward. Wands are fire energy. It's a lot of movement, physical. So right here you see as the person is looking towards the ocean. So the little boats right there looking in towards the vastness of something. In the reverse, you're not seeing everything in the bigger picture. You're not making that movement towards that. You're kind of being a little bit finicky in your energy. So whatever you had to walk away from, I feel like you have this sense of, you're going to try to be content with this 9 of Cups energy. I think you're going to try to be content with what you have where you're at right now. You're not really looking to gain more. You're not really looking to, like if this has, like for example, if this has to do with a relationship for some, if you're leaving a relationship, it's not because you're going after the next one. You're kind of just wanting to be content with what you have. With that Four of Pentacles right there, seeing he's kind of guarding what he has, physical assets, things like that. And the Nine of Cups is just being that emotional fulfillment. So Aries, right now, whatever it is that you're walked away from, you're on that path to just being content, or the advice is you should just be content with where you're at. It's either giving you the advice to not move forward, or that's kind of the approach you're taking from this. And let's get just a little bit more clarity for you, because it's a pretty strong message. I kind of want to see where it might be coming from. Okay, so to me, what I feel here with, because I clarified your Three of Wands, so the reason why you're really not going forward. You've got Eight of Cups in reverse, Five of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So right now, the message I'm getting from this is you're just going to be working on you. You're not interested in really struggling right now. You're not really interested in, you know, yeah, it sucks walking away from things. It really does, you know, but you're okay with it. You're not like walking away and you're emotionally attached to what you're walking away from. You've really detached from it. And with this Five of Pentacles energy, you know that it's going to be a bit of a struggle, what you're doing. Right here, you see the husband and wife team, but I think what this is, the message it's giving me is you're not looking to find a teammate. You're looking to be the whole team yourself, and that's why you have that Queen of Wands energy. The Queen of Wands, she's very like, she's very fiery. She's your, you know, dare I say, she's your bougie bee, right? She is somebody who knows she's beautiful, knows her worth, knows she's very flash, she's very fiery. So I think that's the direction you're going in. If you're coming out of a relationship, and when I say relationship, it doesn't have to be romantically. It could be I'm coming out of a bad friendship. I'm coming out, not even a bad, okay? It doesn't have to be bad. It just has to be what's good for you. Coming out of a relationship, coming out of a job, coming out of a situation with another person, another thing that was very much a part of you, okay? And as you're walking away from it, you're finding out that it is the best decision you're making for you, because it's preparing you for moving forward in your future with this Knight of Cups energy, okay? You're not really concerned with the glass half full or half empty. You're just concerned with having your glass and making sure your glass is good and that you have something in it. And right now, you're just sitting there saying, it's not my glass to share with somebody, it's my glass and I'm going to take care of it. All right, Aries, so whatever it is that's going on, it is preparing you for that catapult to what is best for you, because that's what you want ultimately. And now you're starting to raise your vibration and draw on that energy that's actually going to ascend you towards a goal. So you're currently manifesting something bigger, even though you're going through a rift in the current, okay? Detaching from something, person, place, thing, whatever, is never easy, especially if it's something that really mattered to you at one point. But sometimes things run their course, and we find out that, you know, what mattered to us at one point doesn't always matter to us in the future. It's there for a portion of us, but it's not there in the, for the long run. So, and that's okay. That's part of life. Not everything's going to carry through to the end. We lose our hair even, and we're born with it. You know, so we shed things. You know, sometimes people, places, things, and there's nothing wrong with that. We get attached. We're creatures of emotion, not always logic, so we do get attached to things, and that attachment is what makes it hard. So detaching is always difficult, but is it worth it? In many cases, it can be. So just keep on going forward. You're doing the right thing for you, Aries. Alrighty. Moving on to Taurus. Taurus gang. Messages for Taurus for the week of the 20th through the 26th of December. Okay, so you guys heard me shuffle those. You didn't see it, which I really do need to learn how to angle this thing properly so you can see things. But is Taurus and Aries in a thing together? And you'll see why. In the reverse again. So, Six of Swords, you know, I think the other one it wasn't in reverse though, so now it's in reverse. But Six of Swords, like you're not wanting to walk away from something. Like you're not ready to fully move on from something. So that's why I say, Taurus, or you and Aries having their thing, because maybe you're the one that Aries is walking away from and you don't like it a whole lot. So if there is an Aries and a Taurus thing going on somewhere, this might totally be for you. But you also have the Hermit in reverse, and you have the Devil card. So you could also be dealing with a Capricorn. But yeah, so you're upset about something that either walked away from you or you walked away from. You didn't have any, at the bottom of the deck energy of the Knight of Cups in reverse, something didn't manifest for you, something didn't go forward for you. All right, it didn't happen. There was something pulled back. And you know, you with this Devil energy, this is really consuming you. This is really controlling you. Now, if this is another person that walked away from you, or is not walking away from you, rather, that is continuously coming back, that isn't being truthful, isn't, you know, holding up to their end of the bargain with things, that isn't actually proving their love to you and stuff like that. They're more controlling, narcissistic energy here. You need to know your worth and use that Three of Wands and move forward. You need to pick yourself up and go. You need to, because this type of reading right here resonates to me with the sense of somebody who is letting a situation, person, place, or thing hold on to them because they are refusing to let themselves be the number one factor in their own lives. If you are not number one to yourself, you will never be anything more than number two to them, literally and metaphorically. You can't respect someone who kisses your ass, okay? It just doesn't work. You have to have boundaries. You have to have equal give and take. You have to have things that matter to you. You have to have value and boundaries. And if you don't have those things, you can't expect someone to have them for you. Love you too, babe. I'll talk to you after work. Mwah. Everybody say bye to Fluff. You gotta go back to work. But if you do not have that value within yourself, yes, you are going to find yourself in the grips of people, places, things. You know, I love my tarot decks. I have a ton of tarot decks. I really do. I really, really do. I love them to death. I love my crystals. I love my makeup collection. I love a lot of things. I love a lot of, okay, I'm talking about the material stuff. I love people too. But I love them. Like I enjoy them a lot. And I have love for them. If they were all burnt up in a fire tomorrow, would I be devastated? I definitely would be devastated. But I also know that things return back to the earth, return back their energy at some point. I've learned to detach from ownership of essentially superfluous things. But also, I'm raising 2 daughters, and I know that I love them more than anything in this world. I really, truly do. But I also have to remember that they are their own people. They have to make their own mistakes. They have to learn, even though I don't want them to learn the hard way or to repeat my mistakes or anything like that. I know that sometimes that is just going to happen, and I have to detach and allow that process to occur. Some people don't like that. They will fight that current. They will piss in the wind, even if it's flying back in their face no matter what, because they think they can beat the wind. And it's like, what are you doing? Control. Trying to control things that are outside of your control. Emotions. Like I said, superficial things like monetary things. It's not, you can't take it with you. If you can't take it with you to heaven, it ain't yours. So, and that, you can take that one to the bank right there. If it ain't going with you to heaven, and if you ain't going to see it in heaven, do you really need it? If it's not going to follow you through to the hereafter, it's fun to have. Things are fun to have, and we need things. We do. We need food and shelter and stuff like that. But anything outside of that, it's nice to have the emotional attachment to things. It really is. And people, but you don't need them. Breaking up with someone isn't going to make you stop breathing unless you force yourself to stop breathing. It's not going to kill you unless you try to do it to yourself. So when people are attached, when I see this energy in something like this, where someone is just not being wise about a situation, not moving forward, they're just trying to remain in that controlling energy, or allowing someone to have that controlling energy over you. Okay, number one, it's unhealthy. It's not going to do you any good. It's going to promote a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of self-doubt. This is when we start really bruising our soul, is when we're trying to be something for someone or do something for someone, and we think we're doing it for ourselves, when in reality, probably not. We do things for two reasons in this world. Ultimately, if you break it down, fear and love. If you're not doing it out of love, the only thing you're doing it out of is fear. If you're scared to break up with someone, oh no, I love them. Well, if you love them and they want to go onward, love them while they're going onward. There's no reason not to, but they will say, no, I need them. Need is a fear-based emotion, because you feel like if you don't have it, you are going to be without. And if you're without, you don't really kind of know how to go forward. So it's based out of fear. And the devil, he is the biggest person to bestow fear into you, because he wants to bestow doubt. And doubt promotes fear. Doubt promotes a lot of things that really harm us more than anything else. So Taurus, you've got to detach. It's not, and I don't tell somebody what they have to do ever, but you got to detach for you. You can't sit there and say, oh, this is for, my mom's telling me I need to do this, or my best friend's telling me I need to detach, and I need to do it because they, I don't want to lose them or their trust in me or anything. No, you need to do it for you, okay? You need to do it because that's what makes sense to you, all right? So, and it's in your better interest. Not everything, just like what I told Aries, you don't stay in the here and now forever, all right? You move onward, okay? You meet new people, you go to new places, you get new things, and you will move onward. You'll find new happiness, you'll find new value. It's not like you forget your past. You don't forget past people, you don't forget past places, things, stuff like that. You carry it with you. You just have a new sense of value for things. You're adding pages to the book, not taking them out, okay? So don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of moving onward. Be afraid of stagnation, because stagnation is not going to do anything for you but keep you where you're at. You never stretch and grow from that. And if you want to stay living in the idea of you need, you will stay in that stagnation. You will stay in that mental thought space of you can't go forward. And that's kind of boring. So, Gemini. Messages for Gemini. Messages for Gemini. What's going on, Gemini? This shuffle's kind of weird, so maybe you're having a real chaotic week. The closer we get to things like Christmas and stuff like that, brings out a lot of things, past memories, past people, because people go back to their hometowns to visit family and you run into them and stuff, and old memories and things stir up, or a lot of times it makes us remember people that have left us, whether physically or emotionally or things like that. It's it happens. It's more prone to happen during the holidays. So for Gemini, you have Justice in the upright, Two of Pentacles in reverse, and Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and King of Cups in reverse. So we're not balancing ourselves. A decision has been made, a judgment call has been made, and you don't feel like it's in your favor. It's got you off kilter. Bottom of the deck energy is the King of Cups in reverse. You are not feeling good about your emotions right now whatsoever. Let's find out why. What is this Justice card? Clarify this Justice card. Okay. Your intuition had a role to play in it, I'll tell you that much. Oh, was somebody cheating? Yeah, 3 of Cups, 7 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Somebody moved onward with something else outside of you. Okay, so that could have been another party with that 3 of Cups energy. But sometimes that means celebrations, or maybe somebody chose to live their party life instead of their home life. You know, third party doesn't always have to be a person. It can also be habits, things like that. But you feel kind of robbed right now. You're like, you know what? I'm not feeling good about what happened. I literally feel like, celebration was taken from you. You're not into the Christmas spirit for whatever reason. So this could simply be like you don't feel like partying. You just feel like everything in your life is, you're feeling down. Okay, that's where we're at right now. We're not feeling it. But if it wasn't that relationship situation where somebody moved on from you, look at it in this, I'm looking at it in the sense of like, you're just not feeling the Christmas spirit. You've got stuff from your past right here that's telling me that, you're just not emotionally fulfilled right now. Could it be what I had just mentioned in the foreword, that holidays sometimes remind us of the things that we are without right now? People, stuff in our world that we've had to let go of, where we still live in that residual energy that we haven't quite moved on from. So that's an important thing. We have to work our way through our past tribulations, the things we're going through. You really do have to feel pain in order to heal from it, okay? Otherwise you're going to keep it, aggravating the injury and keep reliving it. If you take a bunch of medicine for back pain, when you're having back pain, you can re-injure or further injure your back. And so was the medicine really worth it? No, because it did deaden the pain. It did, mess with those synapses in the brain a little bit, those pain receptors, kind of deaden them down a little bit. So you were working a little bit harder that day and lifting a little bit more stuff, and guess what? Boom, you pulled a muscle again. So later on, when the whatever Motrin you took wore off, you found out, oh no, I've hurt myself more because I thought I could get up and walk around and lift 20 pounds, and I couldn't do it. I re-injured myself. So sometimes going through the pain, healing with the pain, is better than denting the pain, because we can harm ourselves more. And in life we have cycles where that pain is there for a reason. It has a purpose to it. It is to teach us. We are to learn from it. Like when you burn yourself on remember when you were little and your mom told you don't touch the stove because it's hot, and you had to figure that out for yourself because fire was pretty, right? So you stuck your hand there and you burnt yourself, and you were like, ow. And what did your parents do? They went, I told you so. What did I tell you, right? And you've done it with your kids too. I did it with mine. Even though sometimes I would let my kids feel fire to know that it was hot, because I could watch them do it versus them like do it themselves and really hurt themselves. It's my cat. But sometimes you have to let people know what hot feels like, what fire feels like, what pain feels like, because that's how they know what they don't want to do in the future. If you didn't it down and all that, then you were doomed to almost repeat it because you didn't feel the full effects of what it was trying to teach you. So that's what I'm seeing here is, you're going to continuously compete in these cycles of, having hurt because you're trying to balance out stuff that is making you feel crummy. All right? So don't do that. Don't do stuff like that. Don't keep putting your hand in the fire just to see if it's still hot. You know it's still hot. Don't hurt yourself more because you refuse to accept pain. You refuse to accept what pain is for. One of the things I used to get criticized for a lot was the fact that I wouldn't put Orajel on my baby's gums when they were teething. And the doctor said, well, why not? It's painful. And I said, my children have to understand that there are certain things that are innate that happen, pain being one of them. 100 years ago, did they have a bunch of Motrins? No, they rubbed whiskey on your gums or whatever. And, you know, it was enough to kind of soothe a little bit, but it wasn't something that was going to cause other adverse effects in the body and things like that. But I also, you know, when it got too bad, of course, I did put stuff, or I did give my children stuff, but I still let them experience things. So you still have to experience your pain, okay? That's how you're not going to go through that again. Sometimes we do. Sometimes the universe hits you twice. But it really does that so that you can actually learn. You know, because maybe you're like veering off into that direction again, and it's gonna like knock you in the knee a little bit to keep you from going too far. All right. So lesson learned here is, you know, you gotta. The big lesson we have in all of these so far in Aries through Gemini is, you know, you gotta understand the process of things, but you gotta also care about you. And in caring about you, you will find that, you know, you have to understand that there's an ebb and flow in the universe, there's vibrational energy in this universe, and things happen for their designated reasons. They're not always fun, they're not always great, and no, we don't like all of it. And it's not for us to like, it's for us to experience. And if we try to control it, and we try to take on that role of the higher power, or God, however you should call him, you're going to find out that that's not a role for you. It wasn't designated for you. And the more you try to control things, the more you're going to screw it up. Because it's not for you. All right? So, Gemini, you know, you've got some stuff that you need to work through. And Geminis usually can work through things pretty easy. You got that dual tone personality. You can snap back. You can be that devil and angel on your own shoulder when you need to be. So go ahead and make your pros and cons list. Find that duality in yourself. Find out which one is stronger, which one is more of the, I hate saying weaker, but less dominant or stronger side, and make that decision of where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to be, and what it's going to take to get you there. So the best debaters in the world can debate both sides. And Gemini can definitely do that. All right, moving onward to Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? Messages for Cancer for the week of the 20th through the 26th. Messages for Cancer. Oh boy. Those flew out like crazy. Let's see. You're not getting over this heartache you're going through. Why? Why? Three of Swords in reverse. Are you overcoming it? What's holding you? What are you anxious about? Well, you know what? There's a lot that you could be anxious about in this world right now. Let's not lie. But as we see here with the Nine of Swords, this is somebody who's not sleeping well at night. They've just got a lot of emotions on your shoulder. Your situation may not be as dramatic as this picture, but it's definitely sitting on your shoulders. It's definitely something that is taking up more of your focus than you want, and not in the best way. In more of an anxious way where it's like, you could be just questioning things. You could just be sitting there going, why is this like this? Why is this happening now? Why am I experiencing this right now? You know, not understanding, feeling helpless. That's another thing that happens with the Nine of Swords, is that complete, desolate, helpless feeling. Sometimes when we move on from heartache, we feel guilty that we're moving on. We feel guilty that we're manifesting things better for us. There is situations where when we move on from like relationships, typically enough, things that make us anxious are usually our relationship with someone, right? when we are moving on, sometimes we feel like you're not worthy enough to feel happiness again, especially when you deal with a loss such as a passing, like a death. And that's the vibrational energy I'm getting from here. Like, you're putting in the work to move forward, but you're feeling guilty about it. Okay? When somebody I know passes, somebody I care deeply about passes, and it's happened plenty to me. When I care deeply about someone and they pass on, and I start finding ways to smile again, or moving on with endeavors that would have included them, but no longer can, yeah, we kind of feel guilty about continuing on in those endeavors. We feel kind of guilty about, like, why am I smiling when, this person is feeling so down, when we're there to support others that are experiencing loss too with us, and they're not doing so good with it, but we're finding it able to move on. We can sometimes feel that substantial guilt. This can also mean that, in the day world you're fine, and at night you're crying your eyes out over something. You're hiding it really well. And you're trying to find Two of Pentacles. You're trying to find this bottom of the deck energy. You're trying to find balance. And right underneath of that, Six of Cups, nostalgia, remembering things. That's why I said this seems to me like a passing of some sort, something that has expired almost, that you're not fully over. You're still feeling the effects, but you're not over it. And, some things we're not meant to get over. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we're not. We're not meant to get over when we lose someone we care about, things we care about. We're not meant to get over it. What you're meant to do is take it with you onto wherever it is that the universe has designated that you're going to go. And you're meant to carry that memory. And sometimes that's heavy. Especially when we're dealing with the loss of even like a child. Working in the funeral industry, I can tell you I've carried many small caskets to burial sites. And the smaller the casket, the heavier it is. And those things, you don't get over that. You're never going to get over that. It's never going to happen. I'm never going to get over anybody that I've loved deeply and has moved on from this existence onto the next. And it's impossible. And yeah, you do sit up at night and you do cry. You do remind the world that they mattered. That's kind of what those energies make us feel, is that they mattered so much that we have to let our heart say it. And sometimes our heart says it with sobs and tears. And because we speak this, our heart doesn't get a mouth. So sometimes the way it overflows is just by saying, hey, you're going to let out a big boo-hoo for me. And that's how our hearts communicate. And that's what I think you're trying to do right here, is you're trying to figure out a way to balance and move onward from something because you think you need to. No, you don't need to. You will. In proper timing, in divine timing, you will begin to experience the world without what was holding you down. Okay? The emotions, and I'm talking about a person, I'm talking, the emotions that would hold you down. You are now learning how to exist with the pain. And pain in loss only lets us know the value of something that we had. So don't sit there and apologize for your tears. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not a sign of weakness. Tears have never been a sign of weakness. Crying has never been a sign of weakness. Somebody made up that lie. It should start with once upon a time, okay? And, it's just a way our soul, our emotional side communicates. It really, truly is. So, find a team. Find your team. Find your tribe that supports you the most. I know sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's not your current friends and family. Sometimes it's new people. New people that have walked those paths that, you walk in the same light with them, and you meet new people when you're going through pain. You also find out who your real tribe is when you're in pain. And when you're overcoming pain, especially, like I said, when you're dealing with a death or a loss, people tend to be there for you for a little bit, and then they move onward and you're still left in pain. Okay? Happens a lot. I see it a lot, especially at my job. And I always remind people that, like, you're going to be in pain and people are going to be there for you heavily in the beginning. And they kind of taper off. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean anything that you might be feeling. It literally means that, you know, they do have their lives. And you do have your life. And at that time, your life is not really making you, but your situation has you contingent on making your way through this particular obstacle that's causing you a lot of upset. And you will be okay. I definitely see that. We always are. We find ways to be okay. If at the very minimum we can be okay. You will find people that will come into your life that understand it a little bit better. Sometimes our closest people don't always understand our greatest pain. Okay? So don't be afraid of branching out and finding support for you and stuff like that, whatever the case may be, whether it's a love lost or, you know, a romantic love lost, or just something that's really you've broken your heart on. You know, don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about calling somebody at 3 a.m. to cry on their shoulder. People do that with me a lot, and those 3 a.m. calls really matter the most. So know your tribe, know your vibe. Okay? Because your tribe should know your vibe. Alright? Cancer. Cancer. Oh, we just did Cancer, right? Yes. Yes. Didn't we? We just did Cancer, right? I didn't mark off my little thing. That's in my other book. Are we on to Leo? Somebody mark if we did Cancer. We did. Okay, perfect. Alright. Leos. It happens, okay? I'm human. I make errors. My other book, I have like little tally marks where I can mark off like where I'm at. And I don't have that in front of me. I'm literally looking at a chart to kind of help me out. It's not my usual book. So let's put it somewhere. I don't know where it is. Leo. Our lions. Our gloriously fiery lions. What messages do we have for Leo? December 20th through the 26th. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Your drive to move forward with things you're not moving forward for the right reason, because you have the Knight of Wands in the upright as your first card, but Knight of Pentacles is your underlying energy. You're not paying attention. When you're going forward movement's always great, but sometimes we can't always move forward with things like, as this is fiery energy. This is like, I'm going no matter what anyone says. And over here is telling you maybe you can't afford to do that, whether it's financially or whatever, but you're like, no, I'm going to go forward. Here we go. So the horse is like, okay. And this one's like, no, please no, we can't afford that. It ain't funny, but it's funny, alright? So you also have the Magician in the reverse, and you got Wheel of Fortune. Leo, what are you doing, Leo? That's what I want to know. What is it that you think you're trying to do? Because you're not doing it for the right reason. You're being a shady person with it. Alright? You got this Magician in reverse. And I've said it before. When he's in his upright, he's in control. He knows what he's doing. He's doing things, you know, for the right reasons. Why? This is narcissistic energy. This is, I'm going to do what I need to do for the reasons that I have. And I don't care about anything else. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. When we do stuff in the world, sometimes we will sit there and go, yeah, well, I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what such and such thinks. I don't care. We get a lot of I don't care energy sometimes when a lot is coming at us at one time. And we're like, no, screw it. I'm just going to go and do me. I'm going to do me unapologetically. That can both be good and bad, okay? Doesn't mean you're a narcissist. We can have narcissistic energy. I'm not a narcissist, and I can be like this sometimes. When I want to tell somebody, like, you know what, you go move yourself onward, I don't care. You know, I secretly do. But there's times where you're like, you're fed up, and that fed up energy will start making you act unsavory, right? When just people, if someone keeps bringing you piles of dog crap every day as their excuse, you know, you're going to be like, I don't want none of that. Sometimes boundaries can mimic, holding up our boundaries can mimic narcissistic tendencies. You know, we can it's our, the way we act when these situations come up, okay? So, just, you know, an unsavory magician in reverse moment is, sometimes we think we're doing things for one reason, when in the grand reality, we usually find this out in hindsight. We probably weren't doing it for the right reasons. All right, I'm always reflecting back. I'm always looking back on a situation and going, you know what, I didn't think that out the way I should have, and I probably acted a little shitty as a result, or I yelled at that person, come to find out, you know, it wasn't really their fault, you know, that type of thing. That can happen. All right, so like I said, if the shoe doesn't fit, if this ain't your package, don't sign for it, okay? So when we want to move forward and we want to just sit there and break, this could be like, I'm breaking free of all this crap that goes on in my life, I don't want to deal with it, whatever. You have the Wheel of Fortune. This is cycles, Leo. You have, remember we just talked about cycles. We just talked about stuff happening. This is Wheel of Fortune right here. You know, this stuff happens in cycles, and this could be, it's in the upright, so that's good, but it's a continuing cycle. If it was the World card, I would tell you this is more of like a karmic thing. This is something that's going to keep happening, you know. But you need to complete your cycles. You need to find out that, you know, things, two stories here, okay? Sometimes you need to take on that energy, okay? Sometimes you need to, in order to have something profit in your best interest. But sometimes you can trip on your fortune because you're acting like this. You can literally sabotage your own success. So my question to the cards is, I'm going to clarify the Wheel of Fortune, because what does that mean? If we're being unsavory stuff is happening, this could also be somebody else's energy towards you. Okay? You have, okay, bottom of the deck, you have Nine of Swords in reverse. To clarify the Wheel of Fortune, Two of Pentacles, Knight of Cups in reverse, Ten of Swords. Heartbreak. Heartbreak, but worst part's over. Ten of Swords is completion. Ten of Swords is, well, can't get any worse. Like, it's kind of what this card means. It's over. Like, that is the worst that's going to come of this. So I'm gonna keep it real. Thou has manifested, bitch. Okay, sorry about that. Thou has manifested, bitch attitude, because you had some bad shit happen in your world. Okay, and you're like, the only way I can really overcome this. You're not really concentrating on the fact of whether it's good or, you know, good or not. You're like, I need to get out of this cycle. Okay, I need to, because it's killing me. Whatever it is. It could be a thought process. It could be stuff you're going through with family, a lover, anything. A cycle. Just, you know, maybe you're like, overall in your life, you know, I need to stop doing things for everybody else's purpose. Maybe what I'm doing isn't always the right way, but it's the way I need to be doing it. Okay? That could be the stronger message that I'm getting here. Because like I said, you've got that Ten of Swords, that Knight of Cups, like you need to, it's drop the emotions, let the emotions go. That type of energy. I know something from there is sticking. So I think that message has come through for our are awesome Leos. Okay? I used to be married to a Leo, believe that or not. I also was married to a Scorpio. An unevolved Scorpio. Ever met one of those? Virgo. Virgo reading. I know I have one Virgo listening. The other one went back to work. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. What messages do we have for Virgo? December 20th through the 26th. Shuffle you up really, really good. Because I know Virgos, they like their readings a certain way. It's either give me all or give me none. I know that. Either give it to me or just keep it. I don't want it. Virgo energy, that's fun energy. Virgo energy, that's some fun. That's some fun energy. Messages for Virgo. And Virgos don't mess around. Like, I didn't know too many Virgos until I started being with one. And, Lord, like, not bad energy by any means. It can be. Piss one off and see what happens. But, y'all want to hear a funny story real quick? Fluff was like, you need to tell everybody the story because I was laughing so damn hard last night. I'll put your cards first. Okay. So, we have a cat. We have the two kittens, right? We have Shadow and now we have Houdini. And last night, Shadow, like, they're not allowed on the desk. They're cats. They walk on everything, but they're not allowed to be on the desk. So Shadow is creeping in between like this little tiny divider we have over here, and she's staring at Fluff like this, right? And he's like, Shadow, get down! And our laptops were on the table, on the desk, and she walks over to them, and he's like sitting up doing this. He's like, break something, see what happens. I'll break your toys. And for some reason, it made me lose my shit, okay? Like, I started, like, busting up laughing. First off, if you've ever heard Fluff get mad, like, he's never done it on a live stream, but if you've ever heard him with his Boston, like, I call it his Boston badass accent, where he's like, he's like a bear, I swear, it's not hilarious, but it's hilarious. And when he gets mad, he's like he hulks out, like, not literally, but like he has this like puff chestness, right? And I was like, you're gonna break the cat's toys? Like, they're indestructible, they're plastic balls. And he's like, I don't care. So it was like, you almost have to hear him say it for it to be fully funny, but it had me rolling for like a good 10 minutes. And he's like, why don't you just tell everybody in the group chat then? Like, I was like, no, I'm gonna tell everybody on the live stream tomorrow. And I did. Anyway, Virgo. 3 of Cups energy, Queen of Wands energy, and 6 of Swords. Bottom of the deck is Page of Pentacles in reverse, so we're not accepting petty offers anymore from people. Pages are energy of somebody who is very like, yeah, I'll do it when I want to. Bye. Like, that's Pages. So, Page in reverse. They don't want to deal with none of that nonsense. So, you're not even getting, like, this Page of Pentacles is in the reverse, so it's like, he ain't even trying. And, I get that this is your energy. Oh, thou has manifested a petty little bitch, and I have nothing to do with it. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this Virgo energy, and I'll tell you why. 3 of Cups, Queen of Wands, and your 6 of Swords. This is you being like, okay, moving along. Fiery Queen of Wands energy and the 3 of Cups. You're like, if it don't feel good, I don't fucking want it. Ooh, sorry. But Virgo, you're bringing it out right now. So that's why that came out. You're bringing out the energy right now. You're really bringing out the, if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. If it does matter, I'm going to give it my 100% all. And that's the fire, tenacity, and strength you're getting right now, because the energy I get from this is if I have to lose much more, I'm going down fighting with it. But only to the stuff that matters to me. Okay? Petty half-ass? No. No. We're not paying any attention to that. If it don't matter, it don't matter. And you've known that, but now you really know that. And Virgo, if that ain't your message, if you're a Virgo and you're like, what the heck? You ain't being a true Virgo right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because this is a beautiful thing to have. It's a strength that comes from experience, that comes from gaining a sense of purpose, a sense of establishment, but that's because you've been digging some trenches and you've been through some shit. But if we're going to sit here and call a spade, you know, when you've put in the work, you understand what your work means, what the value has. One of the things I always tell people is, once upon a time, I'll tell you this, once upon a time I was a face painter. It was my side hustle. I loved it. I was one of the most expensive face painters you will have ever encountered. And people thought my rates were insane until I explained, number one, I'm damn good at what I do. Number two, I'm insured. All of my products came from reputable places that are made safe for the face, that have antimicrobial properties to them to kill bacteria that's in the paint from a child's face. My paints were as safe as you could get them. I went through high processes to sterilize brushes, everything, right? And so when people were like, oh, okay, and I was like, or do you want to go to the face painter that's going to charge you $50? And they're going to use the craft paint you get from Walmart, which is not safe for your skin, which causes reactions. You don't know when the last time was they cleaned their brush. You don't even know when the last time was they wiped anything down. But I'm going to do all this stuff right in front of you. That's why I charge what I charge. Plus, I'm insured. I have event insurance on me. I'm also certified and licensed to perform cosmetology. So I know my worth. And yes, you may want to chase, it's money. And you can be desperate and not being able to pay your bills because you don't have any money. But if you're going to degrade your value because somebody else told you, you should only be charging, well, let's say your rates were $300 for something and someone said, well, you should only be charging $75 because that's all that's worth. No, that's all the low vibing people you deal with are worth. I'm not. My ex one time told me that he was going to sell $1 million back massage. And I laughed. Please do laugh. And I was like, really? How are you going to do that? And he was like, I don't know, but I only got to sell one. Valid. You know, all you can do is find one person to pay for it. And then your value is set. My father always told me, something's only worth what somebody will pay for it. Say that twice. Something is worth what somebody will pay for it. If somebody will pay me $9,000 to go paint faces at a child's birthday party, that's my worth. If somebody will only pay me $9, that's my worth. But it's only your worth if you accept it. Okay? You can sit there and say, no, I haven't painted faces in 6 months, but I'm not going to do it for $9 because that's not my worth. There's blessings and curses to that, but somebody will always sit there and be like, well, they're foolish because they haven't worked, so nobody's going to pay them. But you know what? Somebody else has done it. Somebody's paid them that much. They've actually sold gigs. So that is their worth. It's just not everybody's budget. Don't put yourself on the clearance rack because somebody told you you were cheap. You're charging too much. Whether take that mentally, physically, emotionally, metaphorically, literally, stop putting yourself on the clearance rack. Okay? Stop vibing low with bottom feeders. Stop doing all that. If you're good as you are, beautiful. But never let someone dictate to you what you need to be in order to have value. Because you already have it, number one. Number two, I've heard so many lines of BS in my days being on Twitter that it's hilarious. I kid you not. When I hear another woman tell another woman that she needs to weigh a certain amount in order to be feminine, really? I'm feminine because I was born female. I was born with the gender of a female. I'm feminine. your perception, which matters to me nothing and has no value because I'm not buying it, doesn't determine me. The amount of subscribers you have on something, it's a number, an arbitrary number. It determines nothing. Nothing at all. It's that many people that'll kind of every so often check out your stuff. That's it. You know, have your self-esteem so sufficient that you do not have to promote meaningless accomplishments that are very arbitrary as a term of defining yourself. You are who you are, and you are good enough because you know what, that's God made you. Right off the bat, you are good enough. Right off the top. I have said this time and time again. I don't care if you're cross-eyed, sideways, you know, you got buck teeth. There is a person out there that wants nothing more than a person who can bite an apple through a picket fence. Okay? So don't worry. There's someone out there that's going to love your ass. Trust me. Don't matter what you are, who you are, what you look like. It doesn't matter. Hold your value. Look at yourself in the mirror, because the person that's going to devalue the most is in that damn mirror. But the person that's going to set your value is also in that mirror. Okay? Stop giving you away to somebody who doesn't know how to take care of it. Can't even take care of themselves, much less take care of the value of you. So stop doing that. Start scrolling onward from when someone says something. Figure out why it even bothered you, number one. Number two, figure out why you're trying to put on shoes that don't fit. Just scroll on. Scroll on. Scroll on and strut onto the stride of pride. And know that that other person ain't God, they didn't make you, and the return policy on them is a lot shorter than yours. Okay? So look at you and say, I don't need an extended warranty. I'm good enough as I am. And keep holding up your value. Keep being you. Okay? All right, my wonderful Virgos. I think the message for you came through really well, and it was a beautiful message, and I hope you hold on to that for the rest of this year and on to the next one, and not just this week, because that was an amazing thing to see after we had a few readings from some signs that are struggling. Okay? So next are our wonderful Libras. Libras, although stubborn at times, they know how to set their value. They really do. So, Libra, Libra, Libra. What have we got going on for our wonderful Libra gang for the week of the 20th through the 26th? Alrighty. Libra, Libra, Libra. Swords as in the upright as the bottom of the deck energy. Wise, strong, assertive. The persona of the King of Swords is a stronger, domineering energy in the sense that he's been to battle. He knows when you're full of shit. Okay, let's just be real. The King of Swords knows. And he is going to tell you like it is, and you may not always like what he has to say, but you know that you need it. Okay? It's that kind of, I almost say the King of Swords has that father energy. You know, that I'm going to take your shit, but I'm going to tell you that I'm going to let you fall on your face and I will love you afterwards. But I told you not to do that. Like, that's him. Very strong, very sharp tongue type energy. It's not as vain as the King of Wands type energy. It's just that mentally strong. The King of Swords is a very mentally strong person. So, Chariot in the upright, 7 of Wands and 7 of Pentacles. So you have 2 sevens right here. So something may be coming up. Keep that 7 in mind right there, Libra, because something to do with 7 might be relevant to you. But you've also got the Chariot card, meaning that you're trying to steer you're going forward. There's strong forward movement right there. that also means that, you know, with the Seven of Wands right here, you're battling some stuff. Right here is in the battle, in the sense of going uphill. 1 being down here and 10 being up here. You're at the 7, so you've accomplished and you're going up that hill right now. But right here, these are you can see it right there in the card. He's in fight mode. He's ready to go. 7 of Pentacles, as you can see, he's sitting there kind of enjoying his garden, enjoying the fruits of his labor. So when I get the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles together, all that forward movement you've made, all that blood, sweat, and tears is paying off. That's what I'm seeing from this. Okay? And with that King of Swords energy, you've gotten that wisdom. You become mentally strong. Underneath of that, you've got the Hermit card. You know, you've learned. You've really learned. You've really evolved. You've really taken charge. You've really given yourself that opportunity to experience all that stuff I talked about in the forward with the other signs of, you know, really needing to have that strength and understand that the universal process sometimes doesn't always feel good. But you've learned from that, you've grown from that, and you're doing well. So let me just get some advice moving forward for Libra, because I feel the need for that. No. Advice moving forward for Libra. Okay. 4 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Moon card. Be careful with people you're investing in right now, and people that are going to be coming forward with communication, offers, things like that. They're kind of being shady. Okay, so people, when you start working and doing all the work and actually moving along in the world and stuff like that, and people are seeing you accomplish, oh, they always want a piece of that. They always want to sit there and dive into the pie that you spent all that time harvesting the fruit for and cooking. And, you know, kneading that crust, putting it all together, they want to just show up when it's time for dessert. Because they're going to be like, no, you know what, I know you did all this work and everything, but let's do this. Let's split the pie in half, and you get half and I get half. And I'm going to tell everybody that you make amazing pies, and they'll come. Hugs and kisses never paid the rent, and neither does exposure. Okay? So having somebody sit there and want to join in on something because they've got shady motives or the ability to lie. When the Knight of Swords is in the reverse, that's always that stalker energy. So in the upright, this person isn't doing things for the reasons that you think they are. Okay? So keep that all in mind. Keep those 7s in mind. Something could be coming up in the 7th month, 7th day, 7th week. You got 2 7s, so keep that 7 in mind. Alright, Scorpio, you're next. Messages for Scorpio, December 20th through the 26th. Alrighty. Bottom of the deck energy, Chariot in reverse. What's going on? There's no forward movement for something. You're holding back. You're not ready to go forward with something yet. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is truth. Lies. Truth. So somebody's being truthful, but they're being a real asshole about it. King of Swords in reverse. Remember, that's that, like, I'm going to tell you like it is and I don't give a shit how you feel. So you got that, plus the 5 of Swords. Like, fighting for what? What is it that you're trying to accomplish by telling somebody what you think of them, or behaving in this manner of like, I don't, you got all swords right here. Okay, so this is somebody who's just really battling with their head. Like, are you dismissing somebody or somebody else's opinion or something, even though it's the truth? It's the truth, but you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, Scorpio, sometimes you just gotta let people blow it out their ass, okay? Just, you know, I don't care if it is the damn truth. You know, it doesn't have a bearing on you if it isn't your truth. It might be their truth. It doesn't mean it's your truth, okay? So who's telling you you're not going to go forward? Like, you're not going to get any better than what you are? And please tell me you're not buying this. I think it has to, is it at work? Is somebody, like, is something you're working towards? I almost want to get offended, but you know, we're gonna touch it. Well, it bothered you. You got that Nine of Swords energy over somebody's version of the truth. One more, okay. You don't really feel like, you know, you're not going to argue their truth because you're better than that, but it hit home. It hit home. And this doesn't have to be one person. This could be multiple perceptions. This could be, just an overall thing. But you know what, Scorpio? It's not real until you believe it. Okay? It is not real until you start believing it and start living that life. Weight. I'm getting a sense of weight, heaviness. Maybe the weight of your decisions, maybe a physical weight. Somebody telling you, like, being a large person. Being a large person, people will often tell you, like, oh, you're never going to lose weight, you're never going to do this, you're only, whatever. You, for one, you ain't God, you don't know what the hell anybody's going to do. But when people talk like that and you start believing it, then you actually don't do things to promote the better well-being of yourself, right? So you're not going to go work out, you're not going to do all these things. It's crazy, how sometimes we start eating lies and not even knowing that we're doing it. We start, and because we're accepting it as truth. So, Scorpio, tell them, you ain't got the pen in my book. You are not my story. Point blank, period. Alright? Because you don't want to accept this stuff. That's why you're acting like that. But, you know what? Don't. Just simply tell yourself, no. You don't write my story. I do. And what it looks like right now is not going to be the way it looks tomorrow. And you don't know what I'm going to be like in the future. And have you ever heard that story where somebody says, once a liar, always a liar, once this, always this, once that, always that? I've met some people that I know used to talk a lot of bull, and they don't really do it that much anymore because experience in life has changed them. So, once a cheater, always a cheater. I've met people that have wised themselves up, and now there are people that don't fit that bill, trust me, but a man can change his stars. A woman can change her stars. You can be whatever you want. I've seen, the universe is infinite. Who can tell you what's always and never? I think we've all kind of learned that in our lives, right? We learned that with 2020 and 2021. There's our mascot for stuff can change, right? So, Scorpio, don't buy it. Don't bite the hook that you're better than that. Just don't. Don't. Know your worth. I just want to go, Scorpio, if you need it, go look at Virgo's reading. Go backwards, look at Virgo. I had a whole section for you. You can listen to that. Know your worth. Alright, Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. Alright, let's go. Sagittarius. Okay. You're going to get some communication for sure. For sure, Sagittarius. Ooh. Good communication. You're going to... Okay, so what's going to happen? Communication. That's what the Eight of Wands is all about. And see that wonderful card again when that just popped up before? That wonderful little 8 right there. 7. I'm sorry, 8. Yeah, 7 and 8. So it's progressive. It's past energy. 8 to a 7. It's past energy. This is somebody from the past. You've got a what you're gonna argue about in this communication. You're gonna have resolution. You are. You're gonna find out whatever the case may be. You're gonna be like, oh, dang, like I was wrong. You know, let's bury the hatchet. But that's what this energy is, because you also have 5 of Pentacles right here. So something you were left out in the cold about, you know, somebody kind of dissed you, distance, whatever. That energy moving forward, it's going to resolve. You're going to have some communication. If it's not directly with that person, you're going to hear stuff, you're going to know stuff, and you're going to be like, ah, makes sense. And in the future, that person may come forward physically. That doesn't always mean that's what happens, but you might read something on social media. You might see something where you're like, oh, so that's what happened. That's what happened to that person. That's what happened in that situation. It's going to make sense, and you're going to be like, you know what, I'm good. Like, I'm not even holding on to that energy anymore. So, simple message, Sagittarius. And I'm going to leave it at that. I know that was a quickie, but you know what? I want to leave it at that because that is a very precise message. And I want to leave it as such. When those come out like that, and it's very like, boom, it's meant for a specific person. So I'm going to leave it as such, and we're going to move on to Capricorn. Capricorn for the week of December 20th through the 26th. Messages for Capricorn. All right, let's get it. All right, Capricorn. Bottom of the deck energy, 7 of Pentacles, you know, being proud of your work. You're doing pretty good. You got 10 of Pentacles in your, as your first strong card, so the strongest energy here. Complete fulfillment in the home, you know, complete monetary fulfillment. You're living in abundance right now. Or if not, it's coming, okay? And High Priestess right at the dead center, so intuition's really coming into play, and you're going to be having some pretty good options pretty soon. So, you know what? Do your diligence. You know, it's telling you right here. You personally know, Capricorn. So let me clarify that 7 of Cups real quick. Page of Swords to the Chariot. So I think you're going to have this decision made of what you want to do. You have options, but you have your decision made. Something doesn't pan through, or you're getting a bad vibe about one of these things, so I think you already know which one you want to be choosing. Yeah. Right here, I mean, you're on the fence about it right now, but I think you know, either way, you're making forward movement, Capricorn. You really are. A little bit of advice moving forward for Capricorn. So still want to go right here, like these popped out, these fell out again. So the Chariot in reverse, like the Chariot and the Page of Swords, like I think that Capricorn, you need to have that embodiment of knowing when to move forward and knowing when to actually hear people out. That's, you know, it's difficult as a Capricorn because when we're dead set on something, we're like, we're stubborn. We don't like to move. And when we think we know something, it's very hard to convince us otherwise. But you need to hear both sides of the story. You need to make it like non-emotional decisions, even though Cappies tend to not really do that typically. But this one might have been something that you're thinking with heart over head instead of head over heart, and it's reminding you to take that step. So things of obligation, spiritual obligation, Queen of Wands right here. You're not feeling where you need to be spiritually, and or in your cosmic law or in your emotional laws and stuff like that. So Capricorn, you need to really concentrate on the things that matter to you most. You know, not every race is a race to be won. Okay, sometimes you just need to enjoy sprinting. Try telling that to a guy. I know. All right, moving along to Aquarius. Messages for Aquarius. right, I got 8 of Pentacles, hard work, the Strength card in the upright, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. You're not balancing stuff out right. You're not balancing your workflow with your strengths, okay? So what I think you need to pay attention to is what is actually going to improve you mental. What you need, okay, this is work. I'm totally getting this has to do with job. This has to do with income or anything like that. Right now, you're not using, or where you're at doesn't let you harbor your strong points. Because right here with the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, those are your underlying energy. Those are you're a strong-minded and strong physically person. Like, you're that very nurturing, motherly, you know, you have everything. You're a really good combination right now, Aquarius. And where you're at job-wise, it's not valuing those things or having them in a proper alignment, which is best serving to you. So if that is the case, let's see if some forward movement needs to happen or what we can do. Some advice on this situation. You got Temperance in reverse, so that's all about balance and patience. That one just totally flew out. Boy, you really make the people have patience. Come on. All right. Balance and patience. You got the 4 of Cups in reverse. You're turning down opportunities. Why? Because what is it that we're not feeling like are we invested so much in this job time-wise or whatever that we feel that we can't move onward to something else? Is that what I'm getting from this? You know, like, are you feeling like, are you being creatures of habit? Are you sitting there going, I know this job so well, I don't want to find another one? What is this? You know, that's something you don't have the patience. What is it that I'm getting? You don't have the patience to relearn a new trade or want to start over. Should you start over, Aquarius? Should you find something that works for you? Once again, Temperance in reverse. You're just not having the patience for this. Like, this is completely stubborn energy. You're not do you feel like you don't work well with others? Like I feel like you're a stuck creature of habit in this one. I really do. I mean, with that Temperance card again, 7 of Wands, 3 of Cups in reverse, like, not a team player or not valuable in a team. Like, you've really lost a sense of worth. No. Yeah, with that Queen of Wands in reverse, Death, and the 3 of Swords. Change is hard for you, Aquarius. That's what it is. Change doesn't make you feel good about, like, I think you feel like you're going to admit defeat or something like that, but you know what? That's toxic thinking. No. You always got to sit there and say, yeah, I'm going to accept this change as something that the universe is telling me I need to do because that's where I'm at in the world. And, you know, you got to start, like I said, set your values, set your price tag, and stop accepting low bidding offers. And that's what I'm getting from you, Aquarius, right now is, you know, you're really smashing yourself down because somebody told you what your worth was and it wasn't you. Okay, so if new situations present themselves, take them. Give it a try. You know, live. You gotta live. You gotta experience. Alright, Aquarius. So Pisces. Pisces. Advice for Pisces. Messages for Pisces for December 20th through the 26th. Alright. Cool. So 6 of Swords in reverse. Talking a lot today. 10 of Cups. Look at this. Emotional fulfillment. One of my favorite cards. And the Star card, wish fulfillment. So whatever it was that you stuck with has returned profit to you. Like, it has enriched you. Like, you know, not walking away. You know, that situation where, like, should I have walked away? I really don't want to walk away. And you didn't walk away. Or you aren't going to walk away, or you shouldn't walk away. has actually presented itself a new fold to you. It's matured. It's given you back what you wanted out of it, and that's awesome. Now you're no longer suffering. You're no longer having to, battle it out. You got that 9 of Wands energy in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So Pisces, that's some awesome energy. Let me just clarify the star card for you real quick, just to get you a little extra jump on that. I'm getting a lot of I didn't want to move on, because you have that 2 of Wands in reverse, the Strength card in reverse to the Hangman. It taught you something. It taught you something. I'm getting from this, like, you had to wait some stuff out to really understand it. You really had to wait and see. And that can be difficult sometimes. A lot of emotions about it, though. This was very heavy. A lot of emotions. Sometimes we want situations to be a certain way, but they don't always manifest that way. That doesn't mean that isn't the way it's supposed to happen. That doesn't mean you're not going to get a good outcome from it. And when, like in a divorce, sometimes you're like, oh, I was supposed to be with him for the rest of my life, right? And it wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't. But, that transition brought you a greater return. And that's what I'm getting from you, Pisces, is what's coming forward, or what has come forward as a result of this situation is pretty much that, it had to happen for the good to come out. That's what I'm getting for you, Pisces. And I have concluded all 12 signs. So this is going to be the end of the stream. I know a lot of people were telling me about my wonderful merch. Yes, I am wearing my own face. I'm at my own concert wearing my own band t-shirt. No glasses on because it reflects in the ring light. But you can get those in my Teespring store right now. Fluff has started to steal this hoodie, but I won't let him. Yes, he buys you. This is the last reading before Christmas, live reading before Christmas. So I want to wish everybody an absolutely wonderful and joyous Christmas and a blessed Yule for those that enjoy the celebration of this winter solstice that begins today. So happy Yule, Yuletide cheer to you all. Season's greetings for those of you who emanate the beginning of the season. What else? I think Paranormal Melissa said it perfectly last night, where she said it's not what's under the tree, but what's around the tree that matters most. And I have so many people in my life to be grateful for on a daily basis. And I have so many people that I absolutely love beyond measure. There's just no way to quantify it. And it's completely irrevocable. I'm going to love these people for the rest of my life. And I've, become part of a community that I am eternally grateful for. So 2020 was a hard year. 2021 wasn't a whole lot easier. But the things that I got in return, going through those sacrifices, going through those vibrational ebb and flows, was a lot of amazing and remarkable people. I've seen a lot of amazing things. I've experienced a lot of amazing stuff. So at the end of the year, I do reflect back. I do reflect back on the pain, the sorrows, the joys, and the happiness and accomplishments. And I invite you all to do the same thing, because that's how we really mature the spirit and really mature the soul. And I want to thank everybody who stuck around for this entire reading, which has been over an hour and a half long. And for everybody who continues to come on the weekly readings, I'm sorry that this one was a day late. I had a RA flare that, oh my lord, this arm was a nightmare. And as you can see, I was kind of babying it. But things happen, but we pick up where we fall, and we keep going forward. I want to make a huge shout out to What the Paranormal Amy. If you haven't checked out her channel, please do so. And then Sam's Paranormal, which she does makeup, and she looks at paranormal stuff, and it's really cool. And so if you've never checked her out, she's in the chat, and you can see her in the blue stuff, and she can link you to her channel if you would like. And she's really awesome too. She just released a video the other day. It was really cool. And what else? Shout out to Bat Rican for no reason at all. You can tell him I did that. If you haven't checked out Bat Regan's channel, please do so as well. And a huge thank you to one of my most amazing mods, Miss Charmaine. She is here every week as often as she can be, and she provides links and greets and everything, along with Amy and everyone else. And a huge shout out and happy 11th month anniversary or month anniversary to my awesome Fluffins. If you haven't checked out his channel, please do so. He and I will be going live tomorrow to build a gingerbread house and do some other stuff and share some fun activities with everybody. And so I'm going to be ending this live stream because it's already done, but I just wanted to take a few moments to thank and share and love so many awesome people. Yeah. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Merry Christmas, and I love you all.